So you're thinking of moving to Crosby, Minnesota, and you want to know the yin and the yang, the pros and the cons of living in this charming small town meets outdoor paradise. That's exactly what we're going to be covering in this video because we get calls all the time. We get questions from people wondering about Crosby, people often comparing it to places like Brainerd or maybe Nisswa, and wondering if it's going to be the right fit for them, for their lifestyle, for their family, whether it's a year-round residence or a vacation home or second home. So we thought we'd go ahead and take a Google Maps tour, show you around a little bit, highlight some of the best features, talk about what makes this town one of the most unique spots in central Minnesota, sprinkling in a few of the downsides to give you the full picture. So we're going to go ahead and get after it right now. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in the Brainerd Lakes area, including towns like Crosby, then go ahead and subscribe below, tap that bell for notifications. That way you'll be the first to know about the current market, everything happening in the area. My name is Noah Gedker. We get calls, texts, emails all the time for people just like you looking to move to the area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, reach out. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Crosby, Minnesota. Crosby is a town that really completely transformed itself over the years, probably 10 or 15 years. It was once a booming iron mining town, but now it's nationally recognized as an outdoor recreation hotspot. So Crosby is nestled in the Cuyuna mining range area. This town offers stunning natural beauty, thriving small town community of great community involvement, and access to some of the best mountain biking and outdoor activities in the entire Midwest. So let's go ahead and pull up the Google Maps tour and we'll take a closer look. Let's see, Crosby to Duluth, about 2 hours. Crosby to Fargo is about 2.5 hours roughly. And then Crosby to Minneapolis, Twin Cities area is about 2 to 2.5 hours. To the airport, it's about 2.5 hours. There's a regional airport in Brainerd, 12 minutes away to the east. They have daily Delta Airlines flights to the Minneapolis airport. Pretty much, so Brainerd is basically the geographic center. Crosby's 12 minutes away to the northeast. This is Mille Lacs Lake here. Well, not technically part of the Brainerd Lakes area. It's Brainerd Lakes area adjacent. Okay. And then we've got Cross Lake right up here, which is 25 or so minutes away. And then Pequot Lakes, which is about 35 minutes away. Same thing with Nisswa right here. And then Baxter, which is really the retail hub of the Brainerd Lakes area. So Crosby to Baxter to where, let's say Crosby to Costco, probably about 20 minutes, okay? All right, so first things first, let's talk about what put Crosby back on the map and really revitalized it. You know, certainly the Cuyuna Regional Medical Center really had a big hand in it, and a lot of individuals and other local businesses, but it also kind of centered around Cuyuna Country State Recreation Area. It is just to the northwest. It's home to world-class mountain biking trails, crystal clear mine lakes, and some of the best outdoor recreation in the region. So if you're into biking, kayaking, hiking, fishing, scuba diving, yes, you heard that right, scuba diving in Minnesota. In fact, in my high school, so I went to Brainerd High School, but for high school, one of my gym classes was scuba diving, and we were able to scuba dive and get certified in one of the mine pit lakes. So pretty cool opportunities here, even for students. Over 70 miles of mountain bike trails. Really, some of them are ranked some of the best in the country. And we have Portsmouth and Huntington Mine Lakes. So this lake right here, Portsmouth Mine Lake, is the deepest lake in Minnesota, not counting Lake Superior. It's somewhere around 300 feet with just insane, crazy water clarity. Perfect for kayaking, paddleboarding, and especially diving. After the mine was shut down, and the Portsmouth mine, but before it was filled with water, basically this is the site of the beginning of American space exploration. It's called the Manhigh Mission. And before NASA existed, the U.S. Air Force, I believe it was, used this as a launch site to launch the Manhigh mission to launch into space. Very, very curious, very interesting. A lot of, you can see water access points to get into, I think there's one over here on the east side and one on the west side here. Pennington Mine Lake is also a great one. You can see all around here different trails. Cuyuna Mountain Bike Trail. Let's see here. Let's pull this up. I mean, look at that view. That's just incredible. And here's a little shot. But yeah, you'll see because of the iron ore, a lot of the dirt is red. Pretty neat. Here's some of that red dirt. Okay, a lot of overlooks that are just incredible views. So even if you're not biking, it's just they're going to be busier on the weekends, right? So if you live here, you have the advantage of going out during the middle of the week and seeing stuff like this, stopping for a break and enjoying the beautiful views, right? Paddle boarding, a lot of really cool options. I mean, there's just tons of scenic overlooks that, I mean, just are fantastic. Look at that water clarity. Isn't that, I mean, you can see, right? Not the most clear lakes in the world, but they got to be pretty close to being up there. The scenic overlooks are just, I certainly haven't seen all of them. I've been to quite a few of them. There's some more mine lakes over here. If you're looking for solitude, go in the middle of the week out to some of these scenic overlooks, and it's going to be a great opportunity to solitude and quietness and enjoying the natural beauty that Crosby and the Cuyuna region has to offer. All right, so now let's talk about where people actually live in Crosby, and it won't be hard to figure that out. Crosby being the old town that it is, you can kind of imagine it's got that grid pattern to the housing, to the neighborhoods. All right, so first of all, okay, we've got a lot of state recreation, county, just green space, if you will, just a combination of different types of ownership types, city land, all mostly to the north. There are some houses sprinkled here and there, but for the most part, obviously, you can see here, everybody, for the most part, if you're in Crosby, like you're in town. Like there's not a lot of space to go around if you're in city limits. Now you could be in Ironton or other areas, Deerwood to the east and southeast. Deerwood would be Kitty Corner. This is Serpent Lake here. City of Deerwood would be just right down here to the southeast. Obviously, a lot of Crosby revolves around Serpent Lake. So there's going to be really a mix of historic homes, which a lot of them are going to be miners' homes. So they're going to be fairly small. Not a lot of huge homes that you might see in some towns, but that then allows for actually a lot of affordable single-family houses, right? And then very nice waterfront homes, not to the same degree that would be on like Gull Lake or on the Whitefish chain, but Serpent Lake is going to have some pretty spendy homes, typically going to be over $1 million for the typical lake home. Let's go ahead and zoom in to downtown. All right, so here we are get out onto Main Street here and head on in. We're heading west right now. You can see the pretty kind of what you'd think of an old downtown district from a small town, right? A lot of preservation has happened over the last few years and restoration of some of these buildings, especially right in here. Got some really nicely redone buildings. So actually, both of these buildings here have been completely redone. These are old. They've been redone for quite a while. So now, there we go. See, there's, talk about all the time, Rafferty's, great restaurant. This is the go-to spot in Crosby, okay? And then, of course, the Drunken Noodle right here. That is, you cannot go wrong there. So, and then if you look straight to the south here down this street is actually Crosby Memorial Park, which is right along the shores of Serpent Lake. And there's some homes just to the south there, and then one block off you'll find homes as well to the north. one more street to get you an idea of some of these. Some of these homes are fairly nice. Classic early 1900s homes. Early 20s to and 30s. Charming, homes that some may not need updates. There's quite a few that still need updating. You see this nice tree-lined street here, sidewalks. These homes are going to be generally, if they're updated, they're probably going to be closer to like 250, 275, somewhere in there, but you generally for sure under 300 for the most part. Kind of the nicest homes in Crosby that are off water, the nicest ones are going to be 350 to 400, but then the majority are going to be around 250 with quite a few affordable ones that are right around 200,000 and plenty, actually quite a few under 200. Now the typical home is going to be 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, maybe 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, somewhere in there. Going to be about 900 to 1,1300 square feet. Most of them are not going to be very large. So majority of homes in Crosby will be about like this one right here. Fairly small and modest, but does the trick. You're very close. You can go right out your door and within a couple of minutes be to the mountain biking trails, right? Pretty much if you live in town, you can basically walk to anywhere you want. Middle of January, wouldn't recommend it, but now there are some areas that are some newer homes being built. Not very fast, unfortunately, but there's plenty of options for land to be able to build. So just outside of Crosby here and kind of back by Agate Lake, there's quite a few newer homes being built. Those are going to be a little bit higher priced, because they're brand new. So you're going to starting out about 350 and up. And then, of course, we've got to talk about Serpent Lake homes. Those are going to be nothing too crazy compared to like Gull Lake. A lot of the lake homes on Serpent are, pretty nicely taken care of and manicured, nothing over the top, but they're all pretty nice. So again, prices around 900,000 and up for the most part. Okay. Obviously, they're going to have great views. Let me see here. So Serpent Lake runs, for the most part, it's kind of lengthwise east and west. Small right here, and then it gets big over to the east. One of the best parts about housing in Crosby is that it's probably the most affordable town out of the Brainerd Lakes area. Even when it comes to lakefront living, it's going to be more affordable than Nisswa or Lakeshore, East Gull Lake. That might not last forever, with just prices rising due to increased demand. So if you're thinking about making a move, sooner is better than later. So we talked about outdoor recreation in the Cuyuna State Rec area. It's not very far to get to Crosby Memorial Park. And this is really a gem in town. You can bike or hike here, obviously. But if you love being outdoors, Crosby's got you covered. And massive kids playground here. There's an amphitheater right here for live entertainment and events. There's campsite, tent camping, stuff like that. And then RV camping right up here. And then public access for a boat launch. And then, of course, the famous Serpent Public Beach right over here with a swim dock. And then there's a skate park, pretty nice skate park as far as I know. I don't skate. So, and a baseball field. This is City Hall and the police station right here. And then there's actually a fishing pier. Now there's docks right here. So you can be out cruising on the boat for the day and pull into your dock spot for a couple hours and get out and walk 2 blocks. And you can go to somewhere like Iron Range Eatery, or here's where Rafferty's, a lot of different restaurants. So Cuyuna Brewing Company, Burritos California, it's another great spot. Basically like a Chipotle, but not. Let's continue talking about restaurants. So yeah, the Iron Range Eatery, which I mentioned. So this is a really great spot. Some local favorites, a lot of kind of custom menu and an outdoor dining area. So it's one of the best restaurants in town. And then there's North Country Cafe. It's your typical, cafe style restaurant that you'd expect in a small town. You absolutely can't go wrong there. Let's see here. I already mentioned the Rafferty's restaurant pizza, wood-fired pizza, which is world famous, at least here in the Brainerd Lakes area. And then the Drunken Noodle, that is absolutely, was it Thai food? It's been there a couple of years now, and I mean, it's just a lot of restaurants you just can't go wrong with. And we continue on down, skipped over some. There's Mixed Company, it's kind of a classic style, like mom and pop type coffee shop. Trailside Tavern. Oh, look at that. There you go. Play pickleball. Always plenty to do here in Crosby. There's a there's a bowling alley right here on the corner. Of course, Subway. You gotta have Subway, right? Okay, then here is Red Raven. It's a coffee shop slash, I don't know what you call it, bike cafe. They do like bicycle repairs and stuff like that, and rent out bicycles for those coming up for the weekend. This is actually not Family Dollar anymore. This is Ace Hardware, a really nice Ace Hardware. This right here, this intersection, Main Street and Highway 6. So if you keep going north here, you're going to get to Emily, Minnesota, or that would be the direction you'd go to get to Cross Lake or Nisswa or Pequot Lakes, that area. And then if you go this direction, heading west, you're going to end up in Brainerd, and then after Brainerd will be Baxter. And this direction will have you go through downtown, going east. That will get you, if you follow that road, you'll eventually end up in Deerwood. Just to give an overview here, pros and cons of Crosby. So some of the pros: world-class mountain biking, incredible lakes, year-round adventure for any outdoor recreation enthusiast. Affordable living. It's actually, home prices are very affordable, especially compared to the national average, but for sure compared to Brainerd or Nisswa, you're going to get more for your money here. Now, don't expect huge homes with a sprawling, massive yard, generally not going to be the case. But you're going to get a small town feel that's a really tight-knit community. Every time one of the high school teams goes to state competition or of some sort, late at night, you'll have the police and fire department and all the, with lights and sirens going through all the way through town, celebrating every time. So the first time that happened when I moved here, it was like, I go to bed a little early, so it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I woke up and I thought, it was like, what is going on? And figured out what happened. But there's a few cons, every town does. For one, the common denominator with all the Lakes area towns, communities, is that in the summertime, especially on the weekends, it gets busy, it gets pretty crowded, but the good news, it's great for business, it's great for everybody who lives here because it allows for us to be able to afford to live, right? There are limited amenities, major shopping, big box stores, that type of stuff, but it's only 15-20 minutes away in Brainerd and Baxter, so that's pretty easy to take care of that issue. There is a really great hospital in town, Cuyuna Regional Medical Center. They're not going to cover everything that you might need, but the majority of things they're going to have you covered. Okay. Harsh winters, no matter where you're at in Minnesota, you're going to have that. So if you don't love winter, can't stand it, Minnesota might not be the right place for you. The other thing is that nightlife can be pretty mellow and pretty quiet here. If you're looking for like clubs or late night action, you're probably going to need to head to like Brainerd or Baxter for something like that. So that's the yin and the yang, the pros and the cons of living in Crosby, Minnesota. If you're dreaming of affordable lakefront living, epic outdoor adventures, and a small town community full of life, Crosby might be a perfect fit for you. But like anywhere, it's got trade-offs. So if you're thinking about making a move to Crosby or anywhere in the Brainerd Lakes area for that matter, reach out, shoot me a call, send me a text, drop an email. I'd love to help you find your dream home or a vacation home for you. Make that as smooth as possible. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications. And until next time, we'll see you around the Brainerd Lakes area.